William and the Firework of Doom. The property damage guaranteed. A cautionary tale in one loud, glitter-soaked act. It all began on New Year's Eve, at precisely 11:56 p.m. That magical window of time when the drinks are flowing, the neighbors are shouting, and nobody, not even the bravest among us, expects to be ambushed by a firework in their living room. Henry 71 was lounging peacefully in his threadbare recliner, wearing his fluffiest bathrobe and sipping on a lukewarm glass of supermarket brand Prosecco. He had one slipper on, the other was MIA since Easter, possibly in the garden, possibly in the void. And perched on the windowsill, tail twitching, eyes gleaming, brain tragically absent, was William, a domestic Burmese cat, technically, but to label William as a cat would be generous. He is, by all available metrics, the stupidest feline in recorded history, a meowing embodiment of bad judgment. If cats were chess players, William would eat the board. He stared at the chaos outdoors, a mosaic of drunken sparklers, teenage pyromania, and Barry from number 12 dragging out a Soviet-sized crate labeled the Obliterator Vengeance Edition. This monstrosity came in a wooden crate, wrapped in Soviet-looking warning stickers, with a laminated instruction manual that simply said, "Run." It had 7 ignition stages, a built-in Bluetooth speaker, and a legal team on retainer. Barry lit the fuse with a cigar, and the confidence of someone who refers to YouTube tutorials as research. That was William's cue. No one knows why he did it. Some say he thought the fuse was a snake. Others say he mistook it for spaghetti. But the truth is simpler. He has the IQ of warm custard. With the silent grace of a whiskered half-wit, William launched from the fence, landed beside the obliterator, and did what no creature, furry or otherwise, had ever dared to do. He bit the fuse, mid-spark, like a living shrug against natural selection. Then, tail held high like the world's dumbest victory flag, he dragged it, still hissing and crackling, through the open window. Henry turned his head just in time to witness what looked like an industrial-sized flaming torpedo being escorted across his shag carpet by a purring malfunction. What in the actual? Too late. But someone else had seen it coming. Perched nearby, calculating every angle with surgical precision, was Cate, a sleek black cat, a creature of rare intellect, a feline so sharp she, in her spare time, writes entrance exams for Mensa. While William operated on pure, unfiltered idiocy, Cate operated on science. She had forecasted this disaster using an abacus, a laser pointer, and Henry's facial expressions. She'd predicted smoke inhalation, emotional collapse, and spontaneous furniture combustion, all within a 1.2-second window. 0.7 seconds of silence. Then, boom! Stage 1. A magnesium strobe lit up the room like divine punishment. Henry's eyebrows vanished. It would be months before anyone could tell if he were astonished. Wallpaper curled back like a war crime confession. The cat tower exploded mid-now. William somersaulted into a potted plant, re-emerged covered in fern debris, and attempted to lick the firework clean. Cate activated Henry's smart speaker and barked commands. "Alexa, play calming jazz. Notify bomb squad. Disable fireplace mode." Then she launched into the hallway, clawing open the emergency cabinet, also known as the linen closet, and deploying glitter shielding. Stage 2. Glitter rockets surged upstairs, detonated the linen closet, and dislodged a bottle of Vicks Vapo Rub, sealed since 2003. Henry's spare dentures achieved low orbit. Still tracking. Stage 3. The recliner, Henry's beloved slightly urine-scented recliner, launched clean through the front wall and landed upright in the garden, still rocking, as if shocked into therapy. Cate rode the shockwave on Henry's dustpan like a tactical surfboard, landed beside William, who was currently trying to eat a glow stick, and knocked over the flamingo for punctuation. Outside, the neighbors filmed it all like it was the season finale of Australia's Next Top Arsonist. Barry sobbed. Ethel fainted, revived with Shiraz, gained 12.3k followers and an extinguisher sponsorship. William, as ever, remained calm. He burped up a sparkler, rolled in ash like a spa treatment, and tried to open a tin of sardines using his forehead. Cate handed Henry a glittered report. Post-blast analysis. 87% cat-related. Recommend tactical crate for William. Henry stood in rubble, holding his lone slipper and half a Prosecco flute. Ethel's voice rang out again from behind a potted hydrangea. "Henry! Is it over?" Cate bared her teeth, eyes gleaming like tactical lasers. "Over?" she said with relish. "It's only just getting started." Henry's knees buckled. A ban on unsanctioned fireworks. Cheese allocation reform. William to be fitted with Phase 4, the Obliterator Vengeance Edition, subroutine, atmospheric calamity, and light snack deployment. Without warning, the ground beneath Henry's garden shuddered. The recliner, which had been gently rocking like a trauma therapist on lunch break, snapped upright. William looked up from licking barbecue sauce off a pebble. Cate's tail flicked once. Activation sequence resumed. From the molten remains of the Obliterator's casing emerged a hidden hatch, labeled "Do not look inside unless very cool." William looked inside. Phase 4 ignited. Shockwave 1. Sonic boom with interpretive dance. The air pulsed. Ethel's patio umbrella launched skyward like a majestic flamingo searching for freedom. Alexa began auto-playing Final Countdown in Lithuanian. 3 gnomes caught fire. 1 escaped. Shockwave 2. Snack-based diversionary tactics. Henry's pantry exploded. Crackers, sardines, and inexplicably airborne lentils rained across the cul-de-sac. William held with delight and began hurling jats at passing fire drones. Cate caught a cheese cube in midair. Shockwave 3. Climactic swirl of whimsy and regret. The fireworks' final chamber opened like a cursed accordion and released 873 helium balloons, 3 disco lasers, and 1 glitter-coated novelty siren that screamed, "Hold my beer," every 6 seconds. A possum passed out from sensory overload. Barry from number 12 began live streaming from beneath a tarp, whispering, "This is what the prophecy foretold." William, now riding the flaming recliner across the lawn, held a sparkler in each paw like an arsonist knight. Cate, perched atop the garden hose, now a makeshift command post, raised her paw. "Initiate finale." The Obliterator gave one final grunt, wheezed out a rainbow puff of confetti, and detonated the last payload, a skywriting banner that read, "Happy New Year, fools." Henry's neighborhood was declared a temporary confetti zone. William fell asleep in a pile of custard tarts. Cate commandeered Henry's iPad and began submitting schematics to NASA. And Henry, glassless, slipperless, eyebrow singed, turned to Cate and asked, "Please tell me there isn't a Phase 5. Cate grinned again. "There's always a Phase 5. Phase 5. The Obliterator Vengeance Edition. Subroutine. Urban reboot and species reclassification." At precisely 12:24 a.m., 57 seconds after Cate declared, "It's only just getting started," the ground beneath Melbourne once again groaned, like a pensioner waking up in a hammock. A silence fell across the neighborhood. Not a normal silence. The kind reserved for movie scenes, where the camera zooms slowly into the protagonist's eye, while the orchestra warms up an existential scream. Cate's tail straightened like an antenna. William bit a balloon. The sky turned mauve. Phase 5 triggered. The Reckoning Protocol. From deep inside the Obliterator's titanium corpse, a backup detonator clicked ominously. Henry's Prosecco started foaming like a chemical weapon. "I'm too old for this," he cried. Launching Phase 5. Shockwave 1. Selective infrastructure reformatting. The fence surrounding Henry's property retracted. Not fell, not exploded. Retracted into the ground like it was never meant to be there. The lawn emitted a soft beep. The bird bath detached and began hovering. Barry fainted again. Shockwave 2. Species reclassification and decorative confetti. All nearby cats were issued holographic name tags. William's tag read, "Domestic cat, high risk. Intellectual rating, 0. Cate's tag read, Cate, interdimensional tactician. Clearance level, Omega Sparkle. Glitter cannons fired diagonally across the cul-de-sac. One tagged possum now holds public office. Shockwave 3, area-wide Wi-Fi overload. All devices within a 5-block radius began live-streaming Cate's eyebrow raise. The moment was looped. It went viral. Netflix optioned the rights before dawn. Shockwave 4, reality recalibration, minimal regret edition. A holographic fireplace appeared mid-air. Henry's melted recliner reassembled itself with Bluetooth. William tried to eat it. Cate opened her tactical binder, flipped to section Apocalyptic Restoration, and calmly retrieved a quill pen. How to Prevent Firework, Triggered Urban Renewal, a guide for the marginally competent, to which Henry replied, "I stopped trying to understand 20 minutes ago, Ethel." Cate added, "Just wait for Phase 6. Phase 6, the Obliterator Vengeance Edition. Subroutine, Celebrity Holograms, Weaponized Cheese, and the Rise of the Feline Shadow Cabinet. It was 12:26 a.m. Henry Street resembled a glitter-smeared war zone, hosted by Cirque du Soleil. The garden smoldered, like a barbecue hosted inside a blender. William was chewing the plug of a garden gnome. Cate had just declared, "It's only just getting started." Suddenly, every smartwatch, phone, and smart toaster in Melbourne buzzed and blinked. A siren echoed through the clouds, followed by a booming voice. Phase 6 initiating. Please secure all biscuits. Shockwave 1. Celebrity endorsements and ongoing confusion. A hologram burst from the melted barbecue pit, projecting Chris Hemsworth in a tinfoil hat and Crocs. He shouted, "Happy New Year, Melbourne! You've been selected for mandatory sparkle bombardment." 3 drones dropped glitter like apocalyptic fairies. Cate nodded once and muttered, "He's more lucid than expected." Shockwave 2. Tactical cheese deployment. From beneath Henry's deck, a secondary payload released 1,300 cubes of high-velocity cheddar. The brie smokescreen engulfed Barry, who attempted CPR on a wheel of Gouda. William tried to ride a Parmesan disc into the kitchen. Cate built a fondue barrier and scribbled "cheese," potent but predictable, in her tactical notes. Shockwave 3. Rise of the Shadow Cabinet. Cate leapt onto Henry's mailbox and made an official declaration. "As Intelligence Director and non-idiot, I hereby launch the Feline Advisory Council." Flanked by 3 possums in sunglasses and a bored border collie named Nigel, Cate unrolled her policies. Mittens and a tracking collar made of pool noodles. The gnomes voted unanimously in favor. Shockwave 4. Final broadcast and reality disassembly. Every television flickered to static, then displayed Cate's face, perfectly lit, eyes blazing. "Dear humanity," she purred, "we're not mad, just disappointed." A single meteor passed overhead. William tried to bite it. By 12:30 a.m., Henry's suburb had 4 new laws, written in sidewalk chalk, an official cheese zone declaration. 1 melted recliner broadcasting jazz. William collapsed in a wheelbarrow covered in dairy. Cate floated by on a hover gardenia, activated with a paw twitch, quietly calculating how to annex the council library. Ethel cried, "Henry, is it finally over now?" Henry turned. Cate looked directly into the fireworks-tinted sky. "Not while Phase 7 is still classified." Meow. William and Cate will be back very soon with another hilarious story. Please like, subscribe, or follow. William and Cate will be sharing their stories on a variety of social media platforms, so keep a lookout for them.